beautiful friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Anna. If you are new or if you keep coming back and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing because I see that a bunch of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you like the videos, make sure you subscribe, you turn on your notification bell so it notifies you every time I post a video and you don't miss out on anything delicious. Today, we're making a blueberry galette. It's berry season. The berries are in abundance. I can get a pint of blueberries for like $1 at the store, which is amazing. Blueberry is pretty much my boyfriend's favorite berry, so I try to include it in as many recipes as I can in the summer because it is really good. And this blueberry galette is phenomenal. It is so delicious. The pie crust is really nice and flaky. The blueberries are sweet with a little bit of a tartness. As we know, blueberries are a little tart. We are going to add a little bit of lime juice and lime zest in it to bring out that beautiful blueberry flavor. So I'm going to start with the crust now, and then I'll show you what you need for the actual blueberry filling. So in a bowl here, I have all-purpose flour, I have a little bit of granulated sugar, a little bit of salt. To it, I'm going to add a packet of vanillina. This is Italian vanilla extract. I love this. If you can't get your hands on it, don't worry. I just pretty much always have it on hand. So I like to use it for my galette, pie crust, all of that good stuff. I'm not gonna go too in depth in my pie crust because I have a whole separate video explaining the whole thing. Even though this pie crust is a little different than the one in that video, this is the same pie crust that I use for my caramel apple hand pies. It is so good. It's an all butter crust. We're using egg yolks in this one. It is so good. So to it, I added, like I said, I mixed everything together very quickly, and now I'm going to add my butter. Make sure that your butter is extremely cold. That will result in a flakier crust. So I like to pop my butter in the freezer for about 30 minutes before I know I'm ready to use it. I'm using a pastry cutter today to cut the butter into the flour. You want kind of like pea-sized pieces. I have an egg yolk here. I'm going to give it a quick little mix. Add about 3 tablespoons of ice cold water. It has to be really cold. I'm gonna start with 2. I'm going to add my apple cider vinegar. This again gives it a really flaky texture. And then I'm going to add my egg yolk. You know your pie crust is done. If it stays together, if it sticks together, you know that it's done. I'm going to get some plastic wrap. We are going to add pie crust. As you can see, there's still a bunch of dry bits, but that's all right because once we put this in the fridge, all of that will kind of like mix in together and it's gonna be really nice. So I am forming round ball. Okay, so my pie dough, it's almost ready. It's been in the fridge for 30 minutes now. Here I have my blueberries. I have a little bit of flour with a little bit of cinnamon. I'm going to mix in together very quickly. Okay, we got some granulated sugar, pinch of salt, and then we need the zest and the juice of half a lemon. So what I'm gonna do, first things first, I'm going to add the zest of half a lemon. So the lemon and the cinnamon really bring out the flavor of the blueberries. That looks about right. And I'm going to add the juice of half my lemon. Okay, right in there. Okay, I'm going to give it, oops, come back here. Quick little toss. Right, then we add sugar. And we add the flour cinnamon mixture and a pinch of salt. I always add a pinch of salt to everything because salt brings the flavor out in everything. So I like to add a pinch of salt. We coat all of our blueberries in this beautiful mixture. The flour is going to ensure that once the blueberries start to break down in the oven, the juices don't go all over the place and they stay in place. This is done. Now we're going to put this aside. Make sure you don't do that step too in advance. Otherwise, you're gonna have too many juices running out of your berries. So I like to do it right before. You also want to make sure that your oven's preheated at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. You're gonna want to have an egg with a little bit of milk, so an egg wash to brush the outside of your crust, and I like to add a little bit of course sugar right on top as well. Okay, we got the pie dough out of the fridge. I have a little bit of flour here. I'm going to slightly sprinkle the surface with a little bit of flour. If you find that your pie dough is cracking a little too much, that's because it's either a little too dry or because it's too cold if you left it in the fridge for a few hours. So you have to kind of like work with that. Okay, so I'm gonna add some flour right on top. So I flipped it top and bottom. I'm gonna grab my rolling pin. I'm going to add a little bit of flour so nothing sticks. And now we just roll, we turn, and we keep rolling. So roll, turn, flip if you need to. Add more flour if you need to. Mend the edges if you need to. What I love about this, like I said, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. The edges don't have to be perfect. You just have to have a decent size for your crust. I have a baking dish here with some parchment paper. I'm gonna try my best to roll my dough. Okay, I'm going to dust it with a little bit of flour so nothing really sticks. Make sure when you dust it with flour, you don't add too much flour. Otherwise, your pie crust is gonna be a little dry, and we don't want that. So dust it with flour as you roll it. Kind of like so. You fix it a little bit if it needs to be fixed. So now we add our blueberries right in the center. They kind of went everywhere, but make sure you rearrange it and just make a little mountain right in the center with all your blueberries. Right, so you have something that looks somewhat like this. Now we go in and you go around it and you kind of just tuck it in, something like that. Like I said, what's good about this, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then some sort of like this. As you can see, very rustic, which I love, especially if you're not very good at making pies and stuff like that, right? And now we brush it with our egg wash. This is gonna give it a beautiful color. Okay, and I like to add a little bit of raw, coarse brown sugar right on top. The galette is gonna go into our preheated oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until the pie crust nice and golden. And so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll see you back here in just a second so you can see the final result. I am back. My galette was in the oven for 25 minutes. I removed it from the oven, obviously. I let it cool. Our room temperature has been cooling for about an hour. I want you guys to really see and appreciate how beautiful this crust is. So remember, it had a lot of butter, so that butter created this flakiness all over the crust. I love the little imperfect pieces. So as you can see, it opened up here quite a bit, and it looks so rustic, so beautiful. That's the beauty about a galette. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be imperfect. The more imperfect, the better, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I won't be cutting into it today because I really want to take a beautiful picture of it and I don't want to ruin it. But you're gonna see it in the thumbnail. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, my handle is Anitas Delights Recipes. I have a direct link to it in the description box, to both the written recipe and my Instagram. Like I said, I won't cut into it because I want to take a really cute picture of it, and you're gonna see it in the thumbnail. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, like I said, you're gonna see pictures that I'm gonna post of it. I love to serve this with a huge vanilla ice cream scoop right in the on top, and then let it just like drizzle all over the galette, and I love to serve it that way, and that's just my favorite way to eat it. So this is it. This is my blueberry galette. It is beautiful. It tastes incredible. If you want to know what it tastes like, make sure you give this a try. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.